Hello everyone, and thanks for tuning into the Financial Investor channel. My name is Brent, and today we're going to be doing the stock market weekly change for May 20th through the 24th, 2019. We're going to quickly take a look at last week's changes coming in from a red week going into another red week. We're going to be going over the four main index, taking a look at stock futures, currently going over what stocks went most active, positive or negative here in the after hours. Take a look at the entire S&P 500 movement for the week. Take a look at financials, semiconductors, home builders, oil, the dollar, silver, gold, and mortgage rate. So if you are brand new to the channel, have not yet subscribed, hit that subscribe button below. I cover the stock market, dividends, real estate, entrepreneurship. If you're interested in any of those, hit that subscribe. And if you do enjoy this video, find it helpful, hit that thumbs up. I like to do these every week because you could always go back into the historical reference of the weekly recaps and you can see how many weeks we have been negative in a row, what were the percentage changes, and I've done this for a while now, so it's got a lot of history there. And of course, if you have any comments yourself, drop them in the comment section below, and let's go ahead and get into the video. Stock market. So between the 13th and the 17th of May, S&P lost 0.76. The Dow Jones was down 0.69. The NASDAQ lost 1.27, and I was down 1.07. My portfolio has been selling off pretty hard, not as hard as the NASDAQ, but Apple has gone falling faster than all the indexes, and a large portion of my portfolio is in Apple, so it has been selling off here. We may see a bit of a turnaround here in this upcoming week, but we shall see how that is going. I believe this is now the third or fourth negative week in a row. Now currently S&P 500 this week down 1.17%. So pretty hard down on Thursday, down 1.19%. Friday, bit of, it gapped up, but it just didn't hold the high. It just kind of fell. I believe President Trump had actually tweeted earlier this morning about trade deals, and it just did not stick, and it just kind of sold off and just stuck there. So really no movement there from front to end. It just kind of lost its momentum and just ended on Friday at 0.14. Year to date up about 12.73%. So this is really not too bad. If you've been invested so far year to date within the S&P 500 and you've been averaging up, averaging down, you are more than likely probably about up 12.73% or just within that range. The Dow Jones actually lost less than any of the indexes out here. The Dow Jones down 0.69%. I'm actually very surprised with Apple and Lowe's having sold off quite a bit this week that this one still remains decent. So down 0.69, year to date up 9.68. The NASDAQ of the three main indexes sold off the hardest, down 2.29%. Semiconductors this week sold off hard. One of them being, what was that company? A lot of investors, Qualcomm. So Qualcomm down quite a bit throughout the week, but overall not helping the semiconductors, down 2.29 for the week. Year to date, NASDAQ still up 15.10%. The Russell 2000 here is in second place. 5-day change down 1.41%. So Russell sold off 2.29. I'm sorry, the NASDAQ sold off 2.29. The Russell sold off 1.41. The S&P sold off 1.17. And the Dow Jones sold off 0.69% here. So stock futures currently looking negative. We shall see how this kind of plays. We're going into a 3-day weekend, so we have 3 days of news to kind of come out over Saturday, Sunday, Monday, and either cause the market to go down even lower or maybe have a bit of a rebound. So Friday, it looks like everything was kind of settled. Investors are just kind of waiting for the market. We were going into the 3-day weekend. They just weren't buying. They weren't selling. Those that had wanted to kind of sell and go into the weekend without anything, they did that. Those that were holding just kind of continued to hold, and there wasn't a whole lot of movement there on Friday. So after hours, we did see a few companies up here towards the top. BlackRock up 7.4% here in the after hours, ticker symbol BLK. Las Vegas Sands and Newell brands, you can see a couple here. NWL New Brands up 1.66. Las Vegas Sands LVS up 1.34. That's about some of the more common ones up there that I recognize. Now, some of the laggards, Williams Sonoma, that was down 3.99% after hours. Not a whole lot of other companies here. We have Microchip Technology down 1.07. Now, some of the most active stocks here in the after hours, I did see, what was it? I saw Bank of America. Okay, Bank of America in there, 0.11. Facebook, I like the initials there. Facebook Inc. CIA down 0.10% there. So kind of interesting there as far as some of the movers in the after hours. Now Friday was a bit of a mixed day. Not every sector was either negative or positive. It was a bit of a mix. So Intuit up 6.7% here on Friday. Communications had been pretty positive this week. AT&T coming out of that $30 range into now $32.27. Verizon up at $59.32. Healthcare throughout the week, actually healthcare I believe did fairly well. You can see Johnson & Johnson, Pfizer, Eli Lilly, Merck, AbbVie, all pretty positive, while the rest of the market here, technology, services, basic materials, financials, consumer goods, industrial goods, all pretty negative. But healthcare year to date, healthcare really hasn't had a whole lot of movement. Oh, they've been getting slammed within the last 3 weeks. So you can see kind of healthcare, those investors that were buying at those lows within the healthcare sector, they may or may not be positive this week. I know the Roth IRA, which has been more invested into the healthcare companies lately, it really wasn't as far down as the S&P 500 portfolio or my Apple portfolio. Now my IRA over on Narrow Edge, that one holds a lot of Apple, so that one caused my portfolio to slide much faster than the rest of my portfolios. So Apple down 5.31% this week after having lost quite a bit just within the last few weeks. I believe Apple sold off almost 10% in the last 3 weeks. So it has definitely been coming down hard now at 178.97. I feel like that's a pretty good support. The next support for Apple, if they had negative news coming out of China, where China was going to be banning Apple products, such as Huawei has been banned from the States, you may see Apple drop and hit that support right around that $173 range. Who knows if that'll happen. We can see a lot of sell-off over here in Qualcomm, 18.76%. Activision Blizzard, EA, in that 5 to almost 9% range there. Activision Blizzard back down to that $40 almost. If Activision gets down into the $40 range, the kind of interesting one, basic materials, oil and gas was really hit hard this week. So if we take a look at financials, stayed pretty much flat for the week, down 0.07. The semiconductors, this is why the NASDAQ was down, so down 4.4% there with the semiconductors. Home builders, I actually expected them to do much worse than they did. Lowe's was slammed this week here. If we just take a look specifically here at Lowe's, Lowe's is down for the week, 5-day change, down 12.52%. So that's a pretty good hammer on Lowe's. They came out, missed their earnings, guided lower on Wednesday, down 11.85%. Thursday, continuing the sell-off, down an additional 3.21. Friday, bouncing. I'd like to see a little bit more support there in this $95 range. See if it goes down, if it continues to waterfall, such as Triple M has, or if it'll have a couple days where it's moving back in the positive direction. You can see here, within the 1 month, they've been trailing down for quite a while. So, rest of the market has been kind of trading down. Lows just not finding any support. So this is one you can see that been selling off for quite a while, and recent earnings caused it to go off a cliff here. This one really doesn't have a whole lot of support here. It's actually broke below that March support. Let's go back and take a look at the 6 month. So kind of interesting there with Lowe's. Energy, if we're taking a look at energy, oil is down overall. So Monday, there was some tensions. Tensions continue to escalate in the Middle East. I know President Trump had came out saying that they're going to be sending some 1,200 troops overseas. Oil prices continue to drop over and over. You guys can go ahead and pause the video, read through that information there. But overall, oil sold off pretty hard on Wednesday and Thursday, losing more than 8% there within just 2 days. Down for the 5-day change, down 6.5%. Now, if you're looking to get into some oil companies, this could be a good opportunity. As Friday it did bounce up 1.27, so maybe on Monday, Tuesday, some portion of the next week after a 6.5% sell-off. you may see some recovery here in the upcoming weeks. 5-day change, the dollar did move lower from the 97, almost $98 point to now 97.61 for the 5-day change. Silver and gold both positive this week. Silver up 0.96% and gold also positive this week, up 0.54%. Bonds also positive here, up 0.37. So kind of interesting. Nice to see when the rest of the market's falling, the bond, gold, and silver are doing sort of what they're supposed to do, kind of keeping your portfolio from, hedging against the loss there within the other equities. Now, mortgage rates are starting to begin picking up. So here they are up 2 basis points from last week. They went from 4.25 to now 4.27. I still see a lot of investors out there refinancing and getting very low refinance rates from 3.75 to 4.75. And kind of going over the week post here now. I did create a couple of videos going over my Monday buys. I only bought one specific stock. I bought ticker symbol CVS last week. CVS performed. See, I'm not sure. Let's see. It should be over here. Oh no, it would be with Walgreens. It'd be in this section, I believe. I'm not sure. Let's go ahead and just type in CVS. I'm not sure of the performance here for this specific buy. Looks like probably moving lower for the week actually, so maybe not. You can see here it started on second line up and actually finished on that. It doesn't actually give me a 5-day period. But CVS was my number one stock I was buying. I will probably buy some more CVS or CVX going into the following week. Maybe kind of split up and buy a couple of each, due to oil having come down quite a bit. I did, over the next 2 more quarter payouts for Apple, I am getting paid out roughly $35.82 in dividends from Apple. Here, just a snapshot from Apple payout here just recently. Apple with $35.82 at this old buy point of around $190 at the time when this was refinanced, or when it was repurchased. It bought me 0.19 shares. So my current holding of Apple was 46.71. So in about 2 more dividend payouts, if Apple stays at this current valuation low, I should be able to get that $36 of dividend payout, reinvest it, buy back more shares, and then in just 2 more quarters, I'll have a complete share that my DRIP, my dividend reinvestment program, would have purchased for me just from continuing to get paid out those dividends and reinvesting it back into Apple. So lows here, low 11.2% on the day, down after earnings forecast cuts for 2020 outlook, and just kind of struggling there. Little post there about, how would you like to increase your income by over $75 with just an amount, $1,200 invested. And this was just an example of AT&T. I was able to, I've worked with Merrill Edge for a while. I was trying to email their support to see if they would be able to give me some free trades, and they did give me 30 free online trades for the next few months. So I thought that was pretty nice. I keep telling myself I really need to transfer off that broker and move it on to like First Trade or M1 Finance, but I just have not done that currently. So this week, with my hard sell-off here of Apple down 5.31 across the portfolios, I am down 1.73%. We have the NASDAQ down 2.29, the Dow Jones down 0.69, the S&P down 1.17 for May 20th through the 24th, 2019. So that is basically all I wanted to cover in today's video. Just a very quick weekly recap of the 4 main indexes, the stock futures, the entire S&P 500, a couple of different individual stocks out there, oil, silver, gold, bonds, and interest rates. So just a quick recap of the information of the week here, and that is pretty much it. If you guys did enjoy the video, again, hit that thumbs up. I really appreciate it. I do these videos mainly for historical reference. I really don't see a lot of views on them, so I don't think a lot of viewers, subscribers are really watching these, but I like to just create them just for historical reference over what went on that week. So if I want to go back a year ago and look at what was taking place in the markets that caused the stock market to sell off by 2%, I should have mentioned what exactly took place in the week. And in this case, we're just having some issues with tariffs with China. That's that current thing. We had 25% tariffs put in. our market's still trying to find an equilibrium of where we want to settle before we continue moving higher, or if we're going to trail and sell off another 10% going into the correction. So that is it for today's video. I will see you next time. Have a great day. Bye.